Well, the United States Navy has deployed the USS Abraham Lincoln carrier strike group, which is now in the Arabian Sea. The carrier operates up to 70 aircraft, including F/A-18 fighter jets and surveillance planes. Its nuclear-powered system allows for long-term deployment without refueling, and it's accompanied by 3 guided missile destroyers capable of attacking targets far inland and defending the aircraft carrier from air or naval attacks. Let's explore this further. Joining us from Washington, D.C. is David Des Roches. He's a professor at the Thea Marshall Institute. David, good to see you there. Thanks for joining us. So how do you see this? We've got this bristling U.S. military presence, a seemingly defiant Iran. Where is this heading?
Well, it's uncertain, but it's important to bear in mind that the Trump theory of victory for achieving its goals with Iran is not a military overthrow. It's increasing economic pressure so that the regime in Iran turns on itself. I think, if you look at Venezuela, for example, they removed Maduro, but they kept his team in place and figured that they could shape relations there. So I think what they're looking at here is, first off, trying to stress Iran's security infrastructure. Secondly, I think that there will be some attack against regime targets involved or implicated in the massacres of Iranian protesters so that Trump can say he made good on his words. And then I think that there is a strategic imperative to ensure that what was targeted by the U.S. in the summer is destroyed, is placed beyond use, and to ensure that Iran is unable to reconstitute its air defense network.
So you think there will be an attack? What kind of timeline are we talking about?
Well, military logic would suggest that you attack when the moon is its lowest, which is the new moon and also the start of Ramadan. I don't know, honestly. I think that what we'll see is a period once the Lincoln's aircraft are in place and there's a substantial ground-based aviation package that is moving in as well. I think what we'll see are surveillance and reconnaissance flights along Iran's frontier in order to build up a signature of what Iran's existing air defense network looks like, to see what was destroyed in the summer, what was reconstituted, what might be new or unexpected. Once that is complete, we have a good sense of the air defense network, then if military action takes place, I think that the initial attacks will be against the air defense network, followed by the high-value targets, leadership, and ballistic missile and possibly nuclear sites. But again, the real has fallen through the floor, and Trump's preferred mode of option is economic stress that leads to regime overthrow. So I think they may be hoping that the regime is so stressed that if the protests flare up again, which they are possible of doing, the regime will have to change.
It's certainly within the U.S. capability to make a targeted strike against the leadership. They would know where they were.
Well, that's always, 1 or 2 people is always hard to find, but certainly the headquarters and major supply functions and communications functions, the fixed assets of the regime leadership, are known and could be destroyed.
If it does come to this, what are the implications regionally, especially nearby states with U.S. military presence, when it comes to a potential Iranian response, which they have said will be very, very heavy indeed?
Yeah, good question. So when Trump said earlier that he was going to take action in support of the protesters in Iran, he then turned around and I think he realized that we didn't have assets. We had assets to strike, but we didn't have assets to deter a counterstrike. So I think what you're seeing with this deployment is putting the counterstrike deterrence package into place. I would expect, if it was done smart, that there would be a very small target list that I just explained. And simultaneous with that, there would be messaging to the remaining regime leadership that this was a limited strike, here it is, and if you attack particularly civilian infrastructure in American partners like where you are, that there would be an overwhelming response. So I think that most of what we're seeing here is actually presented not to conduct a strike, but to deter an Iranian counterstrike.
All right, that's David Des Roches speaking to us there from Washington, D.C. Appreciate that. Thank you.
It's an honor.
Don't miss out. Get a full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news, expert insight. Like, share, stay ahead.